Hey everyone, this is Big Benedict. We're playing Dead Space 3 on Impossible difficulty. This is Chapter 11. It's entitled Signal Hunting. So we're going to grab this box right here. Then we're going to be going outside and fixing some stuff, getting some powers restored. So go through this door right here. We're going to the furnace room. And I don't believe there's any enemies to speak of here. We're just going to be heading up to, I'm not sure, we are going to be going outside though. Oh, okay, I got a new suit available. I'm not gonna equip that suit because I'm not sure if equipping it means that I'm gonna have to battle the freezing cold again. So I'm just gonna leave this suit on. It's decent enough. It's got that that fur collar. It's pretty cool. Anyway, getting at the contents of these boxes right here. And I'm gonna be. This is like it takes like 2 minutes just to get up to the top here from this this lift here, the cargo lift. So I think I sped this footage up. Yeah, I sped this up. This was taking way too long. So when you get up top, there's a good place to put the bot. Whenever there's a distinct music or a little sound effect that occurs when you're in a bot location. So that right there was my cue to put that thing right there. Now I'm going to go back here, and what we need to do is take this battery and bring it across the way. But once you take the battery out, of course, we have some enemies spawning, but that's nothing new. That happens all the time in Dead Space. So I'm going to throw that thing clear across the way, and now we have enemies spawning. We have pickaxe foes and leapers. And I think I did all these sequences without taking a single hit, but I know I did get hit one time by a guy who just dropped it on me when I got inside the room across the way. So for some reason these enemies like to go over here. I did this a couple of times, and they always like to head on over here. So just kind of beware of that. I didn't experience any enemies sneaking up behind me, so that was fair game. So this was a close call. See, a lot of close calls, and these leapers are just extremely fast. They've always been fast. That's why I just don't like them. Oh, these guys, yeah, watch out when they morph. But I like this section. It's really, things like this are kind of fun when we're moving batteries around. Yeah, no problems to speak of here, really. So I got my bot situated, and now I'm going to pick up all the contents of these kills here, get all the items I can. Then what we need to do is use the Kinesis module to... Oh, another guy spawned right there. We need to, after we kill all these guys, this guy may be the last guy. See how effectively the line gun works? It's slow, but it's really effective on those guys. So we need to take the battery and just shove it through the window. And then we can't get to the door, so we're going to have to go up the ladder. That should have went in there. I'm not sure why I didn't go in there that time. But that one went in there. So we need to go in that room, but we can't go through the door because it's halfway open and there's no power to the room. So now we're going to go up this ladder and just drop into the room that way. It's a really beautiful looking game. It really is. So we have some more enemies here. Nice to see that these guys aren't really charging me. Oh, that guy got in. That guy got in a sneaky hit right there. I couldn't even see that guy. But I have not cleared this game yet. But I also wanted to mention about the final bosses. And there's no spoilers or anything, but the Dead Space 1 final boss was one of the finest bosses I've ever fought. It was so epic and just so fun. And it was a real letdown to deal with the final boss of Dead Space 2. And again, I'm not going to spoil anything by telling you what it is. And I actually, even if I wanted to spoil the final boss for this game, I couldn't because I don't even know what it is. I haven't even gotten that far. Normally I do defeat a game before I do a guide for it, but sometimes it's just not necessary to do it that way. And I wanted to see how this would work. And so far, it's working out really well. Hope everybody agrees with me, and I hope everybody's meeting with success on their impossible guide. So here's where the guy dropped in over here. And sometimes, like, I like to have like perfect runs where, like, I clear all the checkpoints without getting hit. But sometimes I don't know where the checkpoints are located, and I don't want to risk losing progress. So you see that? It's like, I don't know. That's sorry for stuttering this. Blah. That's Dead Space 3. Right there. What you just saw, that's Dead Space 3. It's pretty cheap. It's pretty cheap. And these games are cheap, but this is a new breed of cheapness. It's just not fair. And it makes me not want to do a hardcore run, because to deal with this kind of cheapness, it's just not worth it. Not worth my time or my efforts. So I've been playing this game, and I've also been playing Ninja Gaiden Black. I'm currently playing on normal mode, and I'm trying to unlock hard. Then I'll clear hard, unlock very hard, and then I'll clear that. And then I'll be doing a guide for Master Ninja mode, and also probably be doing some of the challenges. So now we're going to head on back, and then there's some soap opera drama over here as we're going down the lift with Ellie and Robert, I think his name is. Look at this dialogue. I know I sped it up here, but it just makes me laugh. Just how melodramatic the writing is in this game. So we're going to go over here now and do another puzzle, which is one of those third grade puzzles again. And these loading of doors, it's always been like that in Dead Space. These are huge games, and I forgive it the loading times. Because when you die, it's just instantaneously beginning respawn. It's really nice. So this is very basic. All you do is you hold the O button down, and the way you know which one to turn is, see in the middle. It has 1, 2, 3, 4 up there. If it says 1, go to the number 1 and just hold it down until it turns and stops. Then see which one is the next one. Like I said, it's a third grade puzzle, possibly a kindergarten puzzle, but that's as hard as I like my puzzles in Dead Space. I don't want to be doing Legend of Zelda stuff. It's too hard for me. I think a lot of smart people play Legend of Zelda. Really smart people that know a lot of stuff about math and figuring stuff out. That's not me whatsoever. I like linear games. Very linear games with easy stuff to do. But hard challenges, hard fights. That's what I like. Really hard fucking fights. Okay, so now we're going to be talking to the woman, the black woman. And I don't trust this woman. Not because she's black or anything like that. Nothing negative. It's just that she's kind of weird. I don't know. But again, so is all the other characters. They're all weird. Now we're just heading back, and you can visit the bench if you want to. And the black woman is going to give us our objective for the next section. Not that objective. Oh, her name's Santos, my bad. But Ellie looks different in this game too. I don't know, it's weird. Not just because her eye is supposed to be missing. They both got their eyes stabbed out in Dead Space 2. Now they have their eyes perfectly fine. It's odd. Oh, we're getting a probe gun here. So I'll have to see how that works. And after we acquire this gun, we're going to be doing the next section of this chapter, Chapter 11. Okay, so after we talk to her, we're going to go on to the next section. Looks like we're looking for a modified telemetry spike, which Isaac is going to try to make.
Here. I found these research passcodes when we arrived. They brought us into this warehouse. Maybe they will work for the other buildings as well.
I don't know this particular character. She's just one of the crewmates. This is going to be a pretty long level, though, like I believe I mentioned in the beginning of this video. Going to be facing some stalkers pretty soon. One of my really like those enemies. So you can revisit the bench if you want to, but now we're going to be heading back this way. But basically, the stalkers are like very large, like dinosaur dogs, and they charge at you. But the best weapon to use on them by far is the sniper rifle, or the seeker rifle. My bad. I'm gonna place a. I thought I was gonna place a bot down. Sometimes, even if it's not flashing really quickly, I still put one down just to. Because you get something anyway. You're going to get, no matter what, you're going to get something. Okay, these guys here, looks like they did a group suicide. Now we could smash their bodies, get their loot. And if I'm not mistaken, we are going to be dealing with the stalkers. I really love the stalkers. Their sounds, their squealing, horrifying sounds that they make, they scare the shit out of me in Dead Space 2. There's actually harder iterations of them in Dead Space 2, the darker skinned versions of them. But I believe, like the lower tier of the stalkers, it's one headshot, or just one body shot actually with the Seeker rifle. But the black-skinned ones later in the game, I believe those take 2 shots, even if you get a headshot. And there were some really, really difficult rooms with those stalkers. I remember a couple of rooms where there was like mines and it's a lot of stuff. And normally what I would try to do was do the entire room without getting hit. Oh, by the way, here's the room that we couldn't open before, so now we're going in here. It would just be one of those little things I would try to do every time there was a bunch of stalkers. Try not to get hit by them. There's one of them. He just ran off to the left. Basically, in this chapter, there's the first part with them is not hard. Just the second fight's hard. But if you go where I go, it's pretty easy. I mean, as long as you back yourself into a corner, and that may sound like a risky proposition for you, but trust me, basically, like, the farther away you can get from them all when they charge you, the better you'll be. So you can stasis them. I would definitely recommend when they charge you, stasis them. So here they're going to be right up here, and they like to they're a very coy enemy. They like to hide behind these crates. But when they start screeching that high-pitched screech, I'll let you listen to it. You know they're coming. You don't even have to. Well, you should be aware where they're coming, but it's guaranteed. When they're squealing, they're coming. So I stasised him in one shot, and I wasn't even getting headshots and killing these guys. So there's more of these guys. You've just got to be careful. Pretty much, they just run at a straight line right at you. That's all they do. See this one over here? This one's a little bit tricky because you got to get around the corner quickly. There he is. See that? Stasis him. I got a headshot. You can do that sometimes. So, sometimes though, they duck back into cover too quickly for you to shoot them. That's the problem. You could also pull their talons off and use them for projectiles at other stalkers. But down here I was just being cautious. I wasn't sure if there were any more stalkers. Yep, this guy. Sometimes they will come delimbed. So that guy was on his last legs, but he was every bit as dangerous as the other guys. See, stasis, one shot, and they're dead. And I believe that's all of the stalkers for this particular area. We are going to be reunited with the Beast Man, that large, brutish ice monster. He's going to be back in town, and we're going to be facing him in the same quarters where we fight the second and final batch of stalkers who are coming out presently. Here's a good room right here to get some loot. And there's also a room similar to the node rooms, like I mentioned in the last chapter, where you can sacrifice one of your items to actually open the door. I would pretty much just recommend just opening those doors. See this? We need a tungsten torque. Torque something. I can never remember what it's called. I want to say torque bow from Gears of War, but it's a torque bar, it looks like. They're not too much. They don't require too many resources to make. So we're going to go in this door and let's see what we have. I did notice I was getting a lot more tungsten pickups. A lot of the more extreme and intricate weapons, they require a lot of tungsten. So there's a repeater gun or attachment right there. So, we didn't make out too well in this room. I don't know. I just don't like to leave any rooms unopened, so that's just me. Okay, so now we are going to be doing the second wave of the stalkers. So, the biggest problem for me over here was just trying to find, because this is it's a pretty cramped environment, even though it may not look like it. So the best place I found to stand was right over here by the door has the orange circle on it. Normally they're not going to run at you from the left. I mean, they're going to run at you at a straight line, so just stasis them. I tried to shoot that guy. There was actually a really cool trophy in Dead Space 2 for impaling one of these guys and getting him to stick to the wall. With, I think you had to use a javelin gun, or I think you could have used anything, but really cool game. Dead Space 2 is like one of the only games that or one of the few games I should say, that I platinumed. Since I don't really go out of my way to do that, but I had just beat hardcore, and I'm really disappointed that there's no trophy for Impossible difficulty mode. I was looking on the trophies, and if I'm incorrect, please do correct me, but I did not see any trophy-related accomplishment for beating this mode here. This footage is sped up because I'm just going around the map and collecting all the loot. Then we're going to be partaking in that Dead Space Ignition-esque puzzle over here. And I will slow the footage down once we start doing the puzzle. So actually, I don't mind these puzzles. And like I said the last time, or probably the time before the last time, because the last time we did this, we were interrupted, but I've played Dead Space Ignition. It's a really horrible game, but I did play it, like I said, just so I could unlock some things in Dead Space 2. Unlock some of the secret cache rooms, because to unlock those, it required having an active Dead Space Ignition file on your hard drive. So in addition to beating hardcore mode, I do have a Severed guide on my other channel. Severed was really good downloadable content. The first chapter wasn't too long, but the second chapter was very long, and it was enjoyable. And I probably will be covering the DLC that's for this game. I think it's called Awakened. So pretty much guarantee I'll be doing that. There's no enemies out here, so all you need to do is smash boxes, and we're looking for 3 items to fuse together and make, I think that's Spike that these guys were talking about, him and the black woman. So the first thing we need to do is go over here and use the Kinesis module to interact with this crank right here. Just hold, see where it says hold right above his, right above the stasis thing on his back right there. And just when the thing stops, just let go. It's not going to drop. We're going to go down the ladder here, and when you get to the bottom of the ladder, you may hear, well, you will hear a crash when you're playing. It's just the background music. It's just the game screwing with your head. Don't let it. And now we're going to grab all the 3 items, and for the first time, I actually have to start dropping some items. So if you're ever in that predicament, make sure you wisely drop things. I'm going to drop some of these small healing packs so I could carry some medium healing packs. But like, I got to the boss and I had like 800 rounds for my plasma cutter. I've never had that many rounds before with the plasma cutter. But the plasma cutter works. It's such a tried and true weapon. It's so versatile. It took the boss out so efficiently. Well better than the line gun. So I love the plasma cutter.
Okay, Santos. I think I've got all the parts.
Okay, so there are the 3 parts. Now we need to go to a bench, as he says right here. But we're going to be fighting that boss. The boss is the same one we faced in a previous chapter, a couple of chapters back. I would recommend, hell, I would just recommend using the plasma cutter. It does a damn good job on killing this guy. If you want to use the line gun, it does have a wider width to fire, but it is slower. And I have the specs pretty high on that line gun, and it's pretty slow. So basically, you just want to run around the environment, use stasis. When you're aiming the stasis at him, make sure you're aiming at the widest part of him so you don't miss. It's very easy to miss though. I have a feature that lets me use the plasma cutter and just hold down the R1 button. It's very nice. I could recommend it to you, but I don't remember what it's called right now. Watch out that you don't get trapped behind the boxes. See what happened right there? I couldn't avoid that. And Isaac's he's very heavy because he's got a lot of equipment on, and that makes him slow. So this guy, he likes to see how he just tucked in his appendages there. I'm not even aiming for the yellow infected areas on his appendages. I'm just shooting the appendages. But you do have to watch out, if only just to save yourself some ammo and prepare to run away, because it's actually pretty frustrating. I mean, you'll take off a limb and or you'll keep missing him, and he'll just tuck his appendages in and then charge at you. He charges in a pretty straight line, so just move out of the way. And now when he's got these dangling pieces right there, just start firing very rapidly at him. Just keep your distance, stasis. Just take his appendages off. When you see him tuck his appendages in, just make a run for it. Here I'm just looking at my inventory, seeing how much stasis I have. To not have stasis here is not going to mean it's your downfall. I'm just using stasis just so I can, you know, here he's going into his festival of fun over there, just tearing it up. Gives you a great opportunity to hit him. He does have a lot of life, but we're going to be taking him out pretty quickly because there he goes. He's going to leave, or he should be leaving. No, I thought he was leaving. I mean, this boss really should not give you any problems. He does flee, and we will have to fight him again. But for now, you know, just do your thing. Even if you have to to do that roll, do it. I do it sometimes. It's not completely useless. So there, an appendage fell off, and now he's going into his spastic mode. So I'm just going to take him out, take all those dangling orbs off, and then I think he's dead right here. So yeah, he's going to take off, and now since there's just a bunch of exposition here and talking, I'm just going to speed this footage up, and then we're going to go back into the room that we came from, and then I'll. It's that room that had the node room, that equivalent of the node room. So I actually went in there, and I just forgot that I had been in there. And look what happens when I open this locker right over here. I get jacked. But I seem to recall that happens sometimes. You'll open one of these, and instead of some good loot, you get a bug. It's pretty funny, actually. It's messed up, but it's not the end of the world. So now we're going to go in this thing here. Just do a little bit more waiting. Got a couple of tough battles out here. It looks like we have a scavenger bot ready to redeploy. Gonna get some stuff. Artifact discovered right there. Okay, now these guys here, these guys have pretty deadly shotguns, or not really sure what they have, but one shot from those guys' weapons will take half your life off. So be very careful. Stasis him, get headshots. And look how the cyst fell out of that guy. It was stasis, and then it fell off the cliff. Or it might be that one right there. Basically, those things they animate corpses, and you need to kill them before they animate corpses. But sometimes they just hop into the corpse so quickly that you can't even get to them, and it's not a big deal because we'll see how I just killed that guy, and then the cyst jumped out of him. Then I just was able to kill him. So the cysts don't have any loot, but the bodies do. Also, another thing I've never understood about Dead Space, any of the games, why do you have to press and hold the L2 button to run like this? This run this little sprint that I'm doing, that should be the default run. It's so unnecessary to have to hold that L2 button down. My arm hurts every time I play these games. Because, like, when do you ever walk at a slow gait? You hardly ever do. You're mostly running. I mean, you're never walking. You're always, doing the sprint. Doesn't make any sense. Okay, so we got an exploder. That guy, he is an exploder. So just kill him. You couldn't see him too well because of the snow, but we took him out, and he's a dead bitch. Yeah, but that holding down the L2 button to run, that is so unnecessary. And it pisses me off like nothing, like no other aspect of this game. But you just take it for granted, and I always forget to talk about it. But now I'm talking about it. Big B's pissed. And when he's pissed, there's trouble. What are we doing here? Elevator and a door? I'm going to go check out what's on the door first here. Okay, so it looks like the road forked right there. But I think this was the right way to go. Okay. Now where are we? Okay, now we're retracing our steps. It's hard to do these commentaries sometimes. Even if I come back a day afterwards, I've made so much additional progress that I forget. So I like to just jump on these commentaries as soon as I can, so I could pass along immediate tips. Okay, this room here looks familiar. Yeah, this is where the guys committed that mass suicide. And this is also where we fought the screw thing. Looks like there's a bot down there. I think I left this session in of constructing stuff. Oh yeah, we're constructing the probe gun. And you have to have this, you have to have it. You have to be using it rather for the upcoming sections. And it's a decent gun, but it's not anything that I think I would ever want to use for a prolonged period of time. In fact, I just finished all the sections requiring the usage rather of the probe gun, and I swapped out for something else for my other guns. It doesn't have a secondary feature. It's like it's some kind of a electric laser gun. One press of the okay, looks like we got some spawners up here. This is the probe gun though. It fires these. I don't know what they would be considered. These like needles at these enemies, and they just get stuck in them. So we have some cysts here too to kill. They're jumping all around. One landed on me. I'm just going to shake him off. So I've also noticed like the darker the enemy is shaded, the harder he is, and the more HP he has. That was funny, that head rolling right there. It's funny. Head just set into place right there. Oh, another couple assists. Okay, so now we're going to be doing some stuff with the probe gun. Might as well get some stasis while you can. It's going to refill. It would have refilled up anyway. In fact, I probably passed it up. It's a decent. It's an interesting looking gun. Was that guy stuck there? I don't know about that guy. When you press L1 and R1 to shoot, though, with the probe gun, it fires like 3 or 4 shots. Like one press of the button will do that, and it's like a burst fire gun. It's pretty decent, but look how many rounds it gives you. 1,000 rounds. Okay, this part's pretty tough up here. Okay, now I know where I'm at. I just did this section earlier. Up here we have a puker who spawns if you go too far off this cargo lift. And we're also going to have some cysts who are animating these corpses here. See that one? You can shoot the cyst. See that cyst? He didn't animate the corpse, and I shot him. There's a puker. I didn't spawn him. I didn't go far enough. There's another puker to the left, as you can see right there. If you don't see me shooting the puker, that's because I'm waiting for him to puke at me, so then I could throw his projectile vomit back at him. Then see how I threw it back at this guy? It looks like he has... These guys must be upgraded versions. So I crouched right there. We have some enemies over to the left. These guys are undead enemies. That means they're humans, but they have... they've been animated with the cyst. See how the cyst is animating that corpse right there? So... ideally, you would just want to kill the cysts, just so you can kill them, and so that they won't animate any bodies for you to have to kill. But as you can see here, some of the bodies they already come animated. So I'm crouching, and I'm going to kill that guy. And I think that was the last guy. If I just can kill this, no, I think the cyst may have gotten into a body. Yeah, see how he just hopped into that body right there. I don't think this could go on forever, though. I'm not really sure. I've never let it carry on forever, but you might be able to get more kills if you want to, but that's just going to waste more ammo for you. But if you've ever played Dead Space 1, you should know all about how these things work. But that will conclude the video, and I will see you guys in Chapter 12.